Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to 3D Hangouts, episode 185, jumping on NeoPixels.
That's right, this we're going to be taking a look at a CircuitPython mouse.
Yeah, we're going to do some prototyping, some shop talk, all this and more on, you guessed it,
3D Hangouts.
coffee time. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another 3D Hangouts. My name is Noah Ruiz. I'm a designer here at Adafruit, and joining me every week is my brother Pedro.
What's going on everybody? I'm Pedro, Tech here at Adafruit, and every week we come to share 3D printed projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That's right, this is a show we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics to make inspirational projects for you folks. Good morning everybody, thank you so much for joining us on this live stream. Let's go ahead and kind of jump into the show. Today's coupon code is BOUNCE. So if you want to get anything in Adafruit Shop, please do. You can use coupon code BOUNCE to get 10% off your order. We still have the freebie deals going on, so if you spend certain amounts of money, you can get some free stuff. Go to adafruit.com/free to find out all the deals. Same day delivery? That's still happening. Yes, it is. For the fine folks in the New York City area, certain zip codes apply. Go to adafruit.com to find out more info about that. We have newsletters. Adafruitdaily.com is a standalone site. It's not tied to your Adafruit account, so if you want to opt in to some really cool daily content, please do so. We have a really cool one from CircuitPython. Shout out to Scott for leading that one. I need to catch a breath. Adafruit.com/newsletter once a week. Awesome stuff. Check it out. Discord. We're hanging out in the Discord chat room right now. If you want to get a 24/7 Adafruit Hangout, that's where we're at. We're chilling in Discord.
Sure, you can add us. Our names are right on the sidebar there. You can add us for any questions. Yeah. We've been helping out a lot of people with some like 3D printing profile, fixing those up.
Yeah, I love hanging out in the 3D printing room. And the show and tell room, which you can take a look at later in the show. Housekeeping, we do the show every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm really happy about the Eastern Time because it's no longer going to be daylight saving time, right?
At least for us, yeah.
Okay. Really? It's per state?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh man, that's just trippy. Hey, what's up everybody in the chat room? I want to give some shout outs to Alinsky, John K, Kirby, Matabale, Liz Clark is hanging out. Hi everybody.
Thank you all for joining us this morning.
Pedro's over in the side doing some tweets, so we're just going to chat a little bit. Can you hear that? That's me.
Let's go ahead and jump into this week's really awesome project. It is an LED trampoline.
Yeah, this is a really cool project. And if we go to the... It's over there. I have it right there. It works. It's just sitting over there.
So
I don't want to jump on it because they're going to mess the mic up.
Yeah, so obviously we could definitely scale this up, but we wanted to contain it, have a nice little small version of it. So we're just using this cheapo little $20 exercising trampoline. That's with right. A Itsy Bitsy, written all in CircuitPython by the very awesome Kattni.
Yeah, Kattni Rembor collaborated with us and wrote the software for this, made some amazing NeoPixel animations, so we're going to take a look at that. Let's take a real quick look at the guide. Very fun video, a lot of fun to put together, so check it out. It's really nice in front of a campfire. So this trampoline's sort of like your common run-of-the-mill trampoline, I guess. We went to Walmart and picked it up for like 20 bucks. I tried looking for these online because I wanted to link this, but I couldn't find the same type on Amazon. They're like 50 bucks or so, and that's because they're different. But hey, I at least linked to it from walmart.com. Hey, let's talk about the NeoPixel strip. So this is like one of the longest NeoPixel strip projects I've worked on. We've done some pretty lengthy NeoPixel strip stuff, but this one's 3 meters long. The thing with NeoPixels is they come in different densities, right? So you got how close they are with the pitches. So this is the low density, because I tried doing the medium first, but it was just too many pixels, and it costs like double the price. So I figured let's do the lowest that we can. 3 meters is pretty long. You're gonna have to cut a little bit of excess off. So depending on your trampoline, you might want more or less. So it's kind of those little things there. So it's a total of 90 NeoPixels. With the 3 meter, but this project only uses 80 of those. and you're actually going to cut the strip into 2 halves, so it's going to 40 each strip. And we're doing that because there's a little bit of a hardware limitation stuff. So if you try running the animation code with a full 80, it gets a little slow. So that's why we're like, yeah, let's knock it down to 40, cut it in half, and share the same data pin. Because that's what the board doesn't know how many strips are. You can share the same data pin, which is kind of neat. So they're not daisy chains; they're just using the same data pin. And we talk about that more in the code and in the actual guide. So
just want to mention that it is a technique that we've used several times before. If we ever run out of memory, that is the best way to actually get the whole strip to light up. Just chop it in half and share the same data pane for that.
Yeah, totally. So not a lot of parts actually, just the long reel of NeoPixels, the Itsy Bitsy board, a button, and a vibration sensor. So that's really it that's in this project. Of course, there's some other things like a battery pack if you want to power it with a battery pack, or if you want to stick, wire it into the wall, you can do that too with the USB battery pack. So yeah, that works pretty well. Let's jump over to the circuit diagram. Here's what the circuit diagram looks like. We write all our circuit diagrams using the fritzing software. Here's a free open source piece of software. All these parts are a part of the Adafruit fritzing library. I have that linked as well, so if you want to download this fritzing diagram, you can take the parts, or you can download the parts. I also have those linked here. You can download the library, which is kind of heavy, or if you just want little pieces here and there, you can search for them and download them individually, which is kind of neat. So if you're getting started and you really want to document your work, fritzing is a great way to do so. And you just kind of click and drag these wire connections. It's a lot of fun. I like doing it in Photoshop, but dude, it's so much easier in fritzing. You can change the color of the wires and all that, so it's pretty simple. So just looking at this pretty quick, you'll notice that the vibration sensor is pretty simple. It's basically a switch. It's just two wires, that's it. And it's just inside the little capsule is a spring wrapped around a piece of a metal pin, and when you shake it, it makes contact. That's pretty simple. Oh, we got a special note here from Lamar that if you find that the pixels aren't working the right way, you can just try using that special 5-volt data pin that we have. It's called pin 5. It's right over here. And that way you'll get 5-volt logic coming out. Because NeoPixels normally like 5-volt logic. Some of the older strips do, but the newer strips that we're using, they don't care. They're like, yeah, sure, 3's fine. And they seem to work fine. Let's jump into the software. This is, of course, written by Kattni. She did a really awesome job explaining the code. It's very thorough, so if you want to, you get nice comments on everything. And let's kind of scroll through this a little bit. So yeah, we have the note here again about the high-level logic output, D5. So again, talking about the NeoPixels, although we are using 80 in total, the code is specifically saying, hey, I only have 40, and then we're sharing that data pin across those 2 strips, just to kind of make the animations a little bit more speedier, because they get a little bit slower beyond 40. But you can change that if you want. She talks about helper functions, the fade control, sparkle code. There's 3 modes in this project. There's this sparkle mode that has all these different colors. It uses the random Python library, and it has the flash and fade, which is kind of the one that you're seeing in the video if you watched it. And all that's broken down here, so it's very nicely explained. There's also some cool timing features as well. The chase mode, it kind of has a timer so that every 3 seconds it changes the color, which we'll take a look at. And everything's broken out. The main loop is broken out. Each individual animation is explained thoroughly. So check it out if you're interested. We also have this nice little doc that came actually pretty handy when I was uploading the code to it. Huge shout out to Kattni again. For the 3D printing part, I put together a little case that we talked about last week. So this houses the Itsy Bitsy board, it houses the button, and all the wires and stuff. It has a little clip-on thing, which I'm happy about because it kind of clips in there. No need for hardware screws at all with this, which is really nice. I have a little table here that explains all of the file names and what they do and how many you might need to print. Depending on the trampoline you have, the framing might be different, like the diameter of the frame. So I would print one of them and see if it fits or not. But I think it's about 24 millimeters. I don't have it listed here, but you can open it in your slicer and see how big it is. One note I want to have here about printing our parts is that we tend to use the same line width, and this is kind of how thick the perimeters are coming out of your nozzle from your 3D printer. So that's why I have a little screenshot here, and I also listed it in bullet points of what that line width needs to be, at least for this case. So if you look at the case, you'll notice that the walls are all just perimeters, not really infill, it's all perimeter, which makes it pretty strong, and it reduces the amount of time that the toolpaths need to get generated when you're printing. So
it can actually generate erratic toolpaths if you're not using the 0.38 size.
Yeah, line width. Yeah, and if you're using something like Simplify 3D, it might be different. If you're using something like Slicer, it might have a different number. So being able to preview your G-code, your model is really nice. That's why I have a picture of it, just to kind of show you how those walls need to kind of look like. STLs are fine and great, but what's even better is the source files. So these are all designed in Fusion 360. So if you click on these guys, you can get the full source of them. You can export them out. There's a little drop-down download button that gives you an option to download it in any type of format: STL, SAT, STEP. STEP is kind of like the standard for solid modeling. So if you're using something like Onshape, if you're using something like Tinkercad, you probably want the STL because I don't think you do it. So yes, I did model the trampoline. We took a look at it last week, and it's kind of funny. So you can download it here. IGS, those are all the downloads up here. I'm still showing my screen, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. And they also have some other ones like DXF, which is I think for laser cutting and stuff. So that's kind of neat. So check that out. I also have, if you just want I think the more practical would be to download the Itsy Bitsy case. So if you have a project and you need an enclosure for your Itsy Bitsy, here's a real simple one. It's a 2-piece snap together one. You can download it as an STL or as a step, as I was saying. And there's also the board. Let's see if we can explode this. It explodes it a little bit weird, but there you go. It exploded the Itsy Bitsy board. I think I can ice hide this. There you go. And there's how the Itsy Bitsy is in there. I also modeled the Itsy Bitsy. It's not super like it doesn't have every single component, but it has some of the main components that you need, like the reset, the chip, and the dot star LED that's on board there for indicating status and whatnot. And of course the micro USB port, which is over there. So pretty neat. If you want to change any of the tolerances, depending on the printer or your setup that you have, you can do so as well. Pretty simple enclosure. I like it. It's parametric as well. Sketch driven. So that's pretty much it. Oh, so we have a lot of the CAD parts, individual CAD parts. We have a GitHub page, which I have linked below. So if you want to get the Itsy Bitsy board or maybe a NeoPixel or some batteries or some screens, they're all listed here. PIDs, and the way I structured the name has the PID in the beginning. It's just useful for us to kind of quickly find it. So check that out. Yeah, the latest one I added was, of course, the Itsy Bitsy board. Let's move on over to the wiring. So the vibration sensor, I'm using the fast one, and it's got like these thin legs. So I recommend using these 30 gauge silicone coated wires because they're really flexible and kind of strong. I have them pretty lengthy, and they're about 9 inches in length. Just because like it gives you a little bit of extra room to work with. Maybe you want to attach it to the leg, or maybe you want to stuff it inside one of the elastic bands, which is what I did. So you kind of figure out which way you'd like it. I like using heat shrink a lot because it kind of makes the cable a little bit more manageable. So I have a lot of heat shrink, and I give you a little bit of tips on how to use it. And then for the whole thing itself, I have we have this variety pack of heat shrink tubing. So I stuck a giant one over the capsule, like the body of the vibration sensor. This way, like if you tug on it, it won't stress the solder joints. So I recommend doing that because you're going to be moving it a lot. I mean, the silicone coated wires are nice and everything, but you can still kind of, it's not fragile, but you could totally break.
It's pretty thin for the other lead on that. And I recommend getting a couple of more extra just in case it does break, so you're not stuck.
They're pretty cheap too, yeah. Get like 3 or something. Yeah. So that's why I have the capsule fully insulated. Yeah, that's the word. You could use hot glue too as well. I think that'll work as well, but it's a little bit more cleaner. Talk about the button. Pretty simple wiring. It's really short wiring. Still using the silicone covered wires. I like these buttons. I see a lot of people using these buttons. They're the soft touch buttons. They don't have that clicky sound, but they have like a little silicone pad that has like a capacitive rubber on the inside of it. It's kind of nice. These are nice buttons. I also have a button library if you want to use them in EvoCAD or something, but pretty simple to wire them up. So because the Itsy Bitsy board's so small, and a lot of the more inexpensive boards, they only have one power and ground, normally one power and ground. So what I ended up doing was I needed to wire up a lot of things that needed power, voltage. So I grabbed one of these Promo Proto PCBs and I used the Dremel tool to just kind of cut off a little piece, like the ground rails. It's FR4, so you gotta be a little bit careful when you're cutting this stuff. Do it in a well-ventilated area with a breathing mask. You don't want to breathe in smoke of FR4 fiberglass. So I recommend doing that. And I really like using the Promo Proto stuff because it's high quality stuff. You can do a lot of rework on it. It's fully through-hole plated with gold, so they're kind of nice. But you will need some extra power and ground rails, so this is what I recommend doing. And you know, we kind of give them away too. This is one of the freebies we give away too, so I think a lot of people have these. So I wired this up and used it to wire all the other things up. Another cool thing I like using is these Jst Plugs. These are really cool. They're keyed, so you can't put them in the wrong way. So these come in different pin sizes. We have like a 3, a 4, a 5, and a 6, I believe. But I'm using the 3 one here for voltage, power, and data for the NeoPixel strips, and I have a set of 2 of them. So I just have like a whole bunch on hand. I'm really going to start using them a lot because it's really important, or at least it was for my case, it was really important to be able to take the case out and disconnect the strips from the whole trampoline assembly.
Especially if you want to change the code on that frequently, test out different patterns,
Yeah. So I talk about kind of expanding them and wiring up some silicone-coated wires to them just to make it a little bit more flexible inside the case. So you're going to need a set of 2 of them, of course, because we have 2 strips, so that's why I have 2 sets. And lots of heat-shrink tubing, of course. You want to insulate those exposed wires. Talk about the NeoPixels. I talk about cutting the strip. I kind of had to count them, so count them up to 40. Cut it on the side, cut it right there. With the low density, they have a lot of area to cut, and the pads are really big, which I like. Some of the thinner ones, it's like you have to have like a sacrificial pixel. You have to kind of cut one of the pixels off so that you can get enough padding. Pad like that, the solder pad. So I show it how to solder it here.
You could do it by cutting it right in the middle, but you are just going to give yourself that much less room to actually get the solder on there. But it is possible. Yeah.
Wiring everything up to the Itsy Bitsy board, it can get a little bit cluttered. So I start off with wiring all the voltage and grounds to the Promo Proto PCB, and then wiring that into the Itsy Bitsy board. Sharing the data pin is a little bit tricky, so take your time. It was tricky for me anyway. It might be easier for other folks. But because I'm using the silicone covered wires, it was nice. It was easier to kind of rearrange them and kind of massage the wires so that they fit inside the case, which we're going to look at right here. Fitting everything in the case is the board. It fits nicely, but the wires are a little bit beefy, so you're going to have to kind of route them in the right way so that they're not intersecting like the cap for the button, for example, or they're not being kinked when you close when you snap the case on top, the cover on top of the case. So just kind of take your time there and be a little bit, what's the word? Be a little bit careful. So testing the NeoPixel strips out, obviously you want to do this before threading it and installing it into the trampoline. So I have a little photo here showing just how that's working. So yep, 2 strips. Doesn't matter which receptacle it comes into because they're sharing the same data pin, so it doesn't matter. And again, they're keyed, so just got to make sure that that they're consistent, right? So that you're not accidentally wiring ground into voltage because that would be bad. But this is pretty nice. I like this assembly here. A lot of heat-shrink tubing. Putting it inside the trampoline was a little bit tricky. So most of these trampolines have these little cover pads now that are elastic, so you can take them off. And I noticed that trampolines now have come a long way. They no longer use springs, or at least this one doesn't use springs. They have these nice elastic bands, which is nice and safe.
And so if you fall off, the only thing you'll get hurt will be the metal outline.
Yeah, even that's coated with like paint. It's not like this rough thing. You notice that? Like, it's kind of nice. So yeah, that's what I got. So to install the strip, you remember there's 2 strips, so I kind of have them going in opposite ends, and they're pretty close to one of the legs because that's where the enclosure is going to be installed. So you got to do a little bit of planning because the NeoPixel strips have this silicone sheathing. They kind of tend to grip a little bit, and they kind of get locked and stick to the inner framing. So what I ended up doing is just kind of like pulling on one end and then pushing on the other, and then just kind of slowly inching it little bit by little bit. So I did that. And the clips, they can cover the pixels sometimes. So what I did is I printed them in white PLA. You could also use transparent PLA, but this way the light will kind of still shine through. So if you're printing these clips, you know, print them in a white color or a transparent color. That way if you accidentally, well, not accidentally, but if you have to cover up one of the pixels, you'll still get a little bit of light. So that's what I found interesting. Attaching the vibration sensor is kind of like a DIY, like figure it out. Mine worked in the strip and the elastic band. And to keep it there, I had to kind of use a little bit of mounting tack just to kind of stick it in there. But I like that solution because you can still take it out if you need to.
Mm-hmm. We didn't figure out until later on, though, that if we just modeled another clip for it, that would have worked just as well, I think.
Yeah, I didn't do that, though, because I figure that depending on if you use insulation or not, if you use heat shrink tubing, that'll change the tolerances, but maybe not too much. It's such a small thing, too, that it's like, you know, you can stick it somewhere. Brandy had a good idea. She's like, why don't you sew it in there? I was like, that's a good idea. It's a permanent thing, though. Or a little pocket or something. Maybe sew a pocket into there.
Actually, a pretty good idea, yeah. So making a little
or
pocket
Velcro?
for it.
Like stick some Velcro around it? That'd be really good.
So there's tons of different ways that you can mount this on there.
Yeah.
Simple tack, though, seemed to work very well for all of our shooting and all of our subsequent testing.
It stays there, yeah, until you rip it out. You can reuse the tack over and over again, which is nice. Cool. And then the clip of the case just snaps onto one of the legs. Of course, this is a very specific size, so your mileage may vary if you're doing this project. So that's pretty much the whole guide. It's a lot more thorough if you read it word for word, but I didn't want to do that because then we'd be here for the whole show. But that was a lot of fun. And yeah. Yeah,
one of the quick comments on that, John K. was asking how we powered this.
That's a great question.
Sent them the link to the USB power pack that we're using for this. It's a 40,000 milliamp hour battery pack. 5 amps.
That's the one I have linked, but the one I'm using is actually the 10,000 milliamp. This is beefy battery, and it's very nice casing. It's really hardy. I think if you drop this thing, it'll survive. It has a little battery indicator, and of course it's rechargeable, so you can recharge it. It has it has like a 5.2 volt output and a 5 volt output, so you can do fast charging on one of those, which is kind of nice. And it's gonna last lots and lots of hours, so it's pretty nice. It's about $40, but hey, it's a really big battery.
Definitely worth it.
Yeah, man.
Sorry, misspoke. It's 4,000 milliamp.
Right. Oh, you said 44,000?
Yeah.
Whoa. That's even bigger than this one. Yeah.
And then Kitten Carnival was asking, would an angle bender cutter work for snapping the Proto board?
It's pretty thick. The FR4 is really thick. I think the best way, the cleanest way you're gonna get this is with, a Dremel tool with a thin cut wheel. I haven't tried the snips because it's just such a thick piece of FR4. But give it a shot. And if you do, again, do it in a well-ventilated area.
Yeah, there are
maybe in front of a fume
fume
extractor. Just to kind of catch all those particles and stuff. It's nasty stuff.
John's also linking to a SparkFun product, the snappable Proto board.
Yeah. There's the Birchlight ones?
Is it dual?
Oh, that's cool.
Let's see.
I'm just looking at it here.
Is it double-sided, though? That's one of the cool things about the Protos is that it has gold
through-hole plating.
Plating on both sides.
So you can rework it quite a bit.
Was saying that she does not recommend using snips.
Yeah,
don't try that.
Yeah, you might break your snips.
Actually, I just had to replace some because we kept using them to cut metal.
Yeah. Yep. Cool. Well, those are all good options.
Let's see. There's one more.
Can I jump on the
on that? Yeah.
Okay. So hopefully it's still working. Yep, it is.
And one of the cool things about this project is it's definitely adaptable, so you could maybe make drums that light up when you hit them. We've done that in the past before with the electric microphone on the inside, but obviously you would get false positives with that using sound. So this is going to be a lot more better for that, or anything that is like cosplay prop related where you need an action or where you do an action and it lights up. So definitely modifiable in terms of the color code and of course where you're actually adding these to. Very cost-effective way to add sensing to your projects.
Yeah, I think I want to modify the chase animation just to kind of have more pixels. It's every other pixel I think is off, and then it shifts as you kind of advance it. So you can see it's kind of chasing like that. Mm-hmm. And as you do this, the color is changing, which is really neat. So as you jump on it, you get this nice kind of change of colors. It's pretty neat.
Kitten Carnival is saying she was thinking just for bending it until it stops, skip all the cutting, and then the benders will have a ton of force behind them, and that's how she uses them in school for snapping perf boards.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, the FR4 though is a little bit stronger than
it's pretty
perf board.
Thick, yeah.
Because I think perf board's like or paper phenolic, you know, right? It's like FR1.
Oh, these are.
Yeah, they're pretty tough.
They're really
I mean,
tough.
give it a shot, but again, you want to do it in a nice, maybe do it outside or something. Yeah.
And then Yanni's saying that the outdoor trampoline might be better with a microphone.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
Yeah,
we wanted to go with a really inexpensive sensor, so the vibration sensor was like the simplest way we could do it. But yeah, doing it with the mic, we need a little bit more code. I think we have a library for it. I'm not sure though. Don't quote me on that.
And if you want to modify any of the settings for this, if you want to do this yourself, again, all of the sketch-driven designs, you can modify the diameter if you have like a bigger trampoline, so you can build one yourself. And of course, if you're just looking for the Itsy Bitsy case, it is available on Thingiverse. The link
Yeah, you can just download the thing.
will be
Many places to grab it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kattni's actually going to build one. Her friend like got a trampoline. She saw it. She's like, oh my god, I'm going to go buy one.
Yeah, a lot of people.
She said it's a different trampoline, so I think one of the things that you could do is use, I don't know, like zip ties maybe would work better than the clips for a more permanent solution. Yeah, that's probably worse. And because the case has these slits on the bottom of it, you could just route Velcro or, like I said, zip ties to attach it to the to one of the legs of the trampoline.
Totally.
Yeah, man.
And that's going to do it for this week's pretty cool, awesome project. My thighs can now rest.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I jumped on it twice, like, okay.
I know, right? All the testing for trying to get the positioning of the vibration sensor on there, that really killed me. But it's perfect for wearing out your children. Not so much a 4-year-old sense. I don't know where they get all that energy.
I never thought Gavin would be like, I'm tired, I don't want to jump anymore. Come on, do it for the show, you have to. It's like, no. That was great. Cool, well, thank you guys for watching. No, we're not ending the show. We got to move on.
Let's go ahead and jump into this week's prototyping.
Oh, what are you prototyping? Hold on.
Go ahead and start with, I guess, this fume extractor. So we have this very lovely desktop fan in the shop. It's supposed to be used for cooling down a PCB once it comes out of the machines that build a lot of the PCBs. But this would make an excellent fume extractor. Only problem with that is that it's going straight into the fan. It's definitely going to do some damage.
It just blows the smoke out.
Yeah, it's just going to blow it away. Blows out all of the room. So Noah had a really good idea of making a nice little filter holder for that.
Yeah, carbon filter is what you want, guys.
Mm-hmm. So simple little design. All it does is just slide right in to there, and then you have your spot for putting in a carbon filter.
That's right.
Super simple like that. Nice little hex, little honeycomb shape to hold the carbon filter in place. And these can be bought on Amazon. It's like the 5x3.
We're going to try to stock them because we think it'd be a nice thing to have like a bunch of carbon filters.
Yeah, it features a lovely magnet on the bottom. So if you have a magnetic surface, it'll stay nice and level on there. Yeah. And it is powered by 12 volt in the DC power outlet. Yeah.
Here's the product page. Just to get a look at that.
Really good price too for $8.
Yeah, it's $8.
Has a very nice, powerful suction. So a nice distance for getting all of that solder smoke away from your face when you're doing some work on that. Yeah. We do have a very nice little tiny 3D printed one that Phil Burgess uploaded. Mm-hmm. But for those instances where you just have a ton of smoke going everywhere, this is really going to be a really good addition for that.
Or you can use it for your ashtray. That's good. Yeah.
Oh.
Carbon filter, man.
It's a good idea too, yeah.
Yeah, so it's an interesting little shape. Prints upright. It's great use of the 0.8 nozzle. So you can print it in like 30 minutes. This thing printed in 30 minutes blows my mind still. It printed so fast.
A good retraction from the Ultimakers on that as well.
It's one piece too. It's all one piece. A little bit of a bridging challenge, but hey man, your printer can do it with a nice active cooling fan.
Not too bad on that.
Yeah, not too bad, man. It's good.
So this will probably be, go ahead and turn it into a project since, give us a little bit more time to work on.
A bigger build, yeah. Why not?
Bigger build, yeah.
I've wanted this so long. It's like, I used to use tape. I used to use gaffer's tape and just tape the carbon filter into it.
It works, but because of the way,
months.
and I don't want to take this out because it will, if you've ever played with the carbon filters, there's usually particles that will go everywhere. Yeah. So I made sure that it was, not too loose, but loose enough where you're not, sort of jamming it in there and getting all those particles everywhere. Slots in very nicely. So I'll take it out just for the purposes of that. And
there you go.
There.
Yeah, I had to cut it a little bit because there's a little bit of excess there.
Yeah.
But you can cut it with a pair of snips or scissors.
Yep, and then we have a nice bottom here so that if there are any particles that are coming off,
it's going to catch it.
You can kind of see here, it'll catch it all on the inside there. And then it just slots in. We've already seen before.
Yeah. Hey, guess what, Pedro? I actually used it. I used it on this project. So I put together a joystick mouse. So I got this idea from Chris Young, actually, who's a contributor to the Adafruit learning system. And he's done a lot of great assistive tech projects as well. So my goal is to make this into an assistive tech mouse. There's actually this thing called the Joust, which is like $1,500 for this mouse, right? Because it has like sip and puff, and it lets you use your mouth to move the joystick, right? So you can control your computer. So I put together the circuit, and the code is actually already up on the CircuitPython Essentials Guide written by Kattni. So it's using a Trinket, very, very low-cost microcontroller that can do CircuitPython. And again, there's a couple of DIY projects out there, but this one is going to be powered by CircuitPython, or at least written in CircuitPython. So you have the ability to click, you have the X and Y. It's just two potentiometers that makes up the joystick. And this joystick's like, I think like $10 or so. It's on Adafruit. And it's a little 3D printed kind of stick. And then the case is, I'm not done with the case. The case is just kind of like a prototype, but the goal is to kind of have these little mounting points so that you can stick it onto one of those articulating arms, so you can mount it on your wheelchair or whatever, and have it closer to your face. Yeah.
Can I open this up? We'll save this.
Yeah,
later.
Just to show you real quick.
Yeah. Real quick, Yanni's saying that we should have the honeycomb design on both sides. I actually did do that. I already threw it away. It just takes way longer to print.
Yeah, it takes longer to print.
But it does look nice with
cool.
both on there.
Yeah.
And I will make both designs available so you can have that.
Sure.
For whatever reason, though, I really didn't like the the honeycomb on the other side.
I
really liked it.
To print and it wasted like plastic or whatever.
It's not too much longer. It's about a half hour that you're shaving off, but it looks really good with both the honeycomb design on both sides.
Cool. I'm going to load up the CircuitPython page. So this is the CircuitPython Essentials Guide on the learning system. We have this nice sample code, which I'm using right now.
Yes, you can go ahead and try this out right now.
Yeah, here's the wiring diagram. I'm using the Itsy Bitsy board, but I'm using the Trinket. So you just got to make sure, we have a Trinket pinout page. So if you do want to use a Trinket, you could do that. Just a couple of wired connections. Again, you get the click. So you can do left click or right click, and then you can change the thresholds if you want a faster, slower speed. Kattni wrote it in a way where there's actually two speeds, so you can have like the slow and then a faster, depending on how far away the potentiometers are. So you can change the thresholds as you like. So it's pretty cool. That's in CircuitPython because you could literally change it on the fly. That's the whole point about CircuitPython.
That is going to be the next step. This is saying that we should make the case look like a mouse. Go ahead and do the.
I think I've seen that on the Instructables mouse.
Yeah.
Like a taxidermy mouse.
Yeah.
Super morbid, dude. But I like it. It look cute mouse or something.
And that'll be the next step. Adding the Cowie design factor to it.
I see the comment. It has a little mouse emoji. That's great. A little ears and all. That's great.
And then she's also saying that she's meaning to mod a CPU fan case for one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Definitely a good
It's a good project.
useful project for when you're doing
I
work.
used tape for the longest time. I got sick of it because the tape kept kind of flopping over.
When you rip it off, you know, again, those particles just fly everywhere.
Yeah.
It's a nice little mess.
All right, cool.
And
so
then SDWNJ is saying that the carbon filter refills for fume extractors, you can get those in 12 centimeters. Yeah, that's all we use. It's just the, just type it in Amazon.
They all seem to be about the same thickness, so it's nice.
It's about 5.3 inches by 5.3 by 3/4
Inches?
Yeah, I can't remember what the millimeters were for that.
I don't know. It's about 6 millimeters thick.
Yeah.
Just open up your Fusion and look at the dimensions. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, so that's what we're working on. A couple different things. Do you want to show?
And then, of course, the D20. That'll be also another nice little filler project in between the bigger projects.
We printed a smaller one.
Yay, it works. We're using the 0.25 millimeter nozzle. I think the 0.4 millimeter should work pretty well for this as well. Again, we just wanted to test the 0.25 for that, just to see how the quality.
I thought it was a 0.25. Yes, it was. So you get this really nice, what is it, 100 microns?
100 microns on this using PVA, and again, we were just testing out the different print cores to see if the calibration on that was really good.
Yeah.
And it worked excellent.
Sweet.
Let's see, moving on to, what else do we have? Prototyping.
You want to take a look at the print cores?
Jumping into this week's shop talk. Yeah, or is that a community make?
No,
what is this?
I don't know. It's like a mix. Yeah, so we got a bunch of print cores, guys. So these print cores, since we have two Ultimakers, we really need to expand our kind of tool set, our arsenal of print cores. And I really like the print cores because it's an all-in-one unit.
If you guys
kind of take out, you don't have to unscrew the.
If you guys have ever watched any of the snaps, you can definitely see how much more work goes into actually removing the nozzles instead of just
like the older Ultimakers, right?
Yeah, it's a lot more work to remove those. I mean, it's a lot more work than just, you know, snapping it
in. Yeah. So
bam.
So the BB, see how they're labeled? 0.5. I mean 0.25.
I mean, they're out of order in this.
Whatever. But do you see the AA and the BB? Tell me what are those about, Pedro?
So the BBs are specifically designed for PVA material. There's some sort of geometry or something on the inside that is optimized for handling that material.
Yeah.
So that was very good. I like it. The only thing that's missing now is the little thing on the back to attach to our shelving unit.
Yeah, I haven't gotten around to that one, but we needed somewhere to store them because we just chucked them in the box, and we're like, we need something better.
Yeah.
So we found this on Thingiverse. Thingiverse user Garnab put this together. So he has it mounted to like on the wall, I guess it looks like.
Yeah.
And it holds up to how many? Like 10 or so? I don't know, quite a few. So yeah. So
funny coincidence. Yeah, we did see a recent Instagram post by Kirby saying, you know, he just throws them into a container. We should probably model something like this for 3D.
Somebody already has.
They have?
There's so many of these thing holders. It's just like, when do you want to do it, right?
Yeah,
It's like for the longest time we just had them in a box. So I figured we'd make it a little bit more organized. These are nice. I'm glad somebody else did the work because it's a little bit of work to kind of measure and tolerance and print it.
Right.
So huge shout out to Thingiverse user here for making the design. Yeah, cool. So if you have one at work, for example, print one out because having all these nozzles is useful, specifically when you're making parts. Again, man, this fume extractor, like this would take several, maybe 4 hours on a regular 0.4 nozzle, but because of the 0.8 nozzle, we can print this in 30 minutes instead of 4 hours.
Actually, it was closer to like 6 hours, I believe, because of the honeycomb design on there.
Sorry about that. All right, cool.
What
is Kirby saying? The container hits the floor a few times?
Oh my god.
Nozzles all over. Oh no. Yeah, you need something.
So that's before we had the organization. That did happen quite a bit of times.
What is this? What is a spider, dude?
So this week's Time Lapse Tuesdays is really cool. Articulating spider. What? Which one of the comments was saying, this reminds me of a Bionicle little hinge, the way that they did the hinges for that.
Bionicle? Is that from... Is that a Lego thing?
I think it was from Lego, yeah.
Technics?
No, it was a different line. I guess the connections were the ball joints like that.
The ball and socket joints.
Yeah, what makes it so cool, though, is the abdomen on the spider. Yeah, the spider butt that it has on there. And this printed very well.
These joints are really nice.
Yeah,
they're fluid, but they still kind of have that friction hold to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
cool.
0.2 millimeter layer height, using the 0.4 mil nozzle on that.
He has fans that articulate too.
All the fans that articulate as well.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
that's really cool. So it's on Thingiverse. Thingiverse user DB Vandy uploaded it. So it's you print it in pieces. Yeah. Sorry, Pedro, I didn't put the link on I didn't link the video yet. So I forgot to do that. But it was a fun time lapse, and people were asking how do we do the time lapse videos. We have I linked it in the YouTube video. Sorry, I don't have it open, but it's our time lapse build that we use like every week. Our time lapse slider. It's really nice.
Oh, and Yanni and Kirby are saying this looks like it's based off the TinkerPlay app.
Yeah, that thing's awesome. Yeah, TinkerPlay app is like an iOS, Android app that lets you make characters and different things, and it's not parametric, but it's in a way where it handles all the tolerances and ball sockets for you, so you can just kind of modify it. So you can make humanoids, or in this case, arachnids. It's really cool. I haven't used that piece of app in a minute, but yeah, definitely
good for education.
They got bought out by Autodesk, right?
Yeah,
they were a small team, and then they got bought out by Autodesk, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so the cool thing about this is all of these print as separate pieces, so you don't it doesn't print all in one go. So it's you can fit it on pretty small beds. I think the biggest piece is probably going to be the abdomen here. And
oh no, it's
very awesome.
The TinkerPlay app is down. They took it down.
Oh, okay.
Oh well, thanks for the. Yeah, that's fun. That's terrifying at the same time.
Didn't want to wait till Halloween to make this because it looks so cool.
Man. Just make something cool. All right, cool.
Moving on.
Next up.
This is sort of like a mix of, like
so much stuff. Hey, look at this.
Shop talk and community makes, I guess. Yeah, so finally got the wireless Qi transmitters back in stock.
That's right.
And we were finally able to update the wireless Qi charging mat for the Tesla Model 3. And we wanted to see if both phones could fit on there.
Oh, of course, they totally do. We just didn't have the thing on hand. People were saying, like, make two.
Yeah, so we did upload that design up on Thingiverse.
That's right.
And they both fit.
Yeah.
And of course, you can modify the sketch-driven design for this. So if you have a different console shape, you can definitely update that, and all of the shapes should follow along with that.
Yeah.
And of
it
course,
doesn't have to be in the car. You can do something else. So it's a good use. It's a good use of the TPU filament that we got. It's Ninjaflex, so it's flexible, and you kind of need that for something inside of the car that gets like over 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
So this stuff has really high temperature durability, let's say, so it doesn't melt or anything. So it's really nice.
And we didn't show it in this video, but you are able to fit the larger phones on there, like the iPhone 8 Plus will fit on there as well. They fit side by side and vertically on there.
Yeah, and just note, this isn't just for iPhones. I mean, any device that has Qi charging will work. You get the 500 milliamp charging rate, whatever it is. All the
whatever the output of the car is, yeah.
Yeah, see, look, Android, see? We don't hate Android.
And you could, of course, add the Qi charging ability too. We also sell the little things that stick on the back. The little transmitter.
Yeah, they're down
the
here.
Receiver. Yeah,
you can get these here.
You can either DIY one yourself, or you can actually just get one that's already built for micro USB. And we have two different versions of that, depending on what orientation the micro USB is on your cell phone port.
Yeah, you also made a stand. Remember the stand you made?
Oh yeah, we've done a bunch of Qi charger projects, so definitely check that out if you want to make
can
a
embed it
stand,
in a book
if you want to make a more portable one.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. So a lot of different use cases for the Qi wireless charging. More and more devices starting to have built-in wireless charging, which is great.
One note we want to make in terms of the updated stock for the Qi chargers is the board's all the same, all the tolerances work. We just have a longer cable now. I should have put that video in there as well, but I posted it on Instagram too, just showing. I should have measured how much longer it is, but it's definitely going to be handy for.
You didn't show it in the video?
No, I didn't show it in that one. I showed it in the past one on just the length. I'll go ahead and measure it too and add it as a note. But there is enough room to actually coil up those extra long wires underneath the board, since the standoffs on there does elevate the board a little bit, so you can put those underneath.
Okay.
And because they are insulated, they aren't going to short anything out on the bottom of the board.
Coating of the wires.
So definitely helpful for any specific project that might need to extend the coil away from the board. Really check those out if you are in need of building a customized Qi charging project.
Cool. And you updated the Thingiverse page with the new model.
Yes, it is up there.
Look here. There's the single version and there's the
dual
double
version.
Yeah. So again, it's optimized for TPU. Don't print it in PLA if you're going to use it in the car, because it will melt. Just throwing that out there.
Totally.
All right. All right, we're going to move on to community makes. We get some cool community makes. Take a look at some stuff in Discord as well. Let's start off with this one. Our friends over at Pinshape put together Pedro's Guardian sword from Zelda Breath of the Wild. This is a fun cosplay prop, very, very large sword. So they did a little bit of tweaking in Mishmixer, and they did some sanding, bonding the parts together with glues and such, adhesives, sanding, you know, talking about the wiring and the electronics, and just nice little documentation of how they did it, how they painted it, because we didn't really do any finishing on ours, which kind of could show you that you don't have to, but it looks really great when you do. So check that out. It's on Pinshape.
Of course, I've been doing it often, but thanks, John, for reminding us. Today's coupon code is BOUNCE.
Yeah.
Want to save 10% off in your order. Expires at 11:59 p.m. tonight. Works on everything except subscriptions and gift certificates.
Yes, sir. Okay, we got some other cool things. This one just came in from Jepler on Discord. He posted a make of this, and I didn't see this yet, so really cool. It's a little feather tray for the Adafruit Feather line of boards. I just used some M2 screws to secure your feather. So if you don't want to fully enclose the feather, you just want like a nice little tray for it. This is a really good little design for it. Check it out. Pi Girl, this is one of the funnest projects we made, and folks are still making them, and they're really fun to make. It's great if you're getting started with electronics and Raspberry Pi. Definitely recommend it out. Shout out to this Thingiverse user who uploaded it, their make of it. Got the Raspberry Pi Zero case. Somebody posted this. Really nice. On-ear sign. That was really cool. This is a fun sort of an IoT thing for Twitch or whatever, YouTube. It's really cool. Hey, this is the LED sand toy that we did a couple months ago. Sweet. Did a little post here. Printed on a DIY i3. Very cool. We got another one. This is another one. Printed on a Prusa i3. Cool. Everyone likes these projects. And another Pi Girl. This one was sanded down, so this is what it looks like when you sand it down. Nice and kind of smooth surface. Very cool.
I like they put the letters on the buttons as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I love it when people do those little touches to it. Definitely good. And in Discord, we got a couple cool things here. Just gonna kind of run through them.
We got so many on Discord. So if you guys want to check all of these out in detail, maybe ask the creators some questions as well, don't forget to check out
Discord.
Discord.
Yeah, Discord link. Yeah, so check it out. We got Hex sharing some of his projects of his handhelds using those touch buttons and ESP32. Very cool. We got some nice use of NeoPixels to make some edge lighting or some desk lighting. Really cool. We got some, I think this is like making paper such from Becky.
Oh, nice.
Very cool.
I remember doing this.
Yeah, I remember doing that. Like paper mache type stuff. Look at this. Amazing.
Really cool arcade
that is so
cabinet build.
Look at that. Super cool. Yeah, nice arcade.
Wow.
Retro Pi build.
The ball on there too.
Doing some reflow oven, some great stuff. Playing around with some capacitive touch sensors. We got this word clock from Mr. Make-A-Willy. Looks really cool. Withy. Some sort of, what is this? This is cool. Shadow box.
Very cool.
Yeah, some nice builds. Super cool stuff. Kitten Canaveral doing some great NeoPixel work. Here's that from Andon. Check that out. You know what that is from, right? This is from Breath of the Wild. Yeah, this is the Battle Axe ++. What? Yeah, I can't wait to see it. Yeah, he's already printing it. I can't wait to see that, like the full glowing Battle Axe.
Yeah, I've been looking for.
We should print one and then we'll battle with them and see which one. That's funny.
So just off topic, and looking what next cosplay prop, I think, I forget what the name of it is, but the new Han Solo trailer shows, I forget the dude's name already, the one of the bad guys.
It's a double knuckle
something
duster?
sickle or something?
Sickle?
Yeah, is what they're calling it. Yeah.
Double sickle? I don't know what it is.
That looks really
we don't know
cool.
much about it. I mean, you get one or two frames in the trailer. Here's some cool projects as well. We got Arc Reactor from Gary. Also posting, is it good? Probably, oh yeah, the Apple of Eden. That was really cool.
Nice.
Seeing other people make one. Those are really great. Cat showing some hydraulic safe. That's really cool. Got some nice wiring work with these. Oh, these are fun. I need to come up with a project with these. These are fun.
How those are actually weatherproof.
Yeah, those waterproof NeoPixel dots. Those are fun. You got some airplanes that fly. Really cool. Oh, that's so cute. Look at that. A little hat with some embedded LEDs.
Oh, cool.
It's really cool.
A good way to do some marbles.
Yeah, Gary's doing some more cosplay stuff. He's like a battle axe.
Wow.
I think it's 3D printed, maybe. Yep, 3D printed. From Assassin's Creed. Very cool. More arc reactors.
Nice.
Some cool stuff here. NeoPixel strip. That's always the fun thing. Just kind of add some NeoPixel strips and things. Some holiday stuff. More cool. Oh, this is like, I love when there's like fabric and like sewing. From Kit and Canaveral as well. I'm gonna see some more stuff. Oh yeah, so CG Grover's or C Grover is working on this cool project, sort of these holiday window decoration NeoPixel stuff. So here's a nice weatherproof project. He's got this nice project enclosure.
That's
and custom PCB as well for kind of managing the pixels.
Very cool.
There's a good amount of them. Here's what it looks like there. Andon's putting together some cool circuitry, and I believe Fusion. Yeah, Fusion. That's looking good. Here's like sort of a workspace. Kit and Canaveral sharing some workspace here. Nice and clean. Oh yeah, she's working on this great NeoPixel matrix sort of bag, handheld bag. You'll see more of it as you scroll down. That's some Maker Project Lab stuff. This is this? Yeah, this is the Chrominius. Super awesome synthesizer. Check it out. Wow. It's kind of the story. Nice breakdown of it. And we got some more posts here from the bot. I got some more synth stuff. We got C Grover's working on an album, so if you want to check out his album, check it out. Or is it C Grover or somebody else? Yeah, C Grover is working on an album, but this one's from Old Crow, kind of showing the Deckard's Dream from sort of that CS80 style. Come on, Blade Runner. The name escapes me. This is a really cool project enclosure using the snap fit features to make this a really cool display, and with the ESP32, I want to say, maybe. Yeah, this looks great. I love that wiring; it's so organized. Very cool. Oh, look!
Speed round.
Look at that black. Yeah, here's the bag from Kattni or Kit and Canaveral. He's putting together that bag we saw.
Yeah, adding or
I actually saw it last week on Show and Tell. It was really
it looks really good diffusing through that black.
Yeah. Steamable. Wow, look at all these boards from Andon. Doing a lot of panelized digi badges. These are badges. Super cool. More stuff. There's so many great projects, guys. And I love how everybody kind of collaborates, and you know, if anyone has any project questions and stuff, a lot of people are very helpful.
Yeah, if you guys want to start posting any questions there, just saw one from SWNJ asking about, short of purchasing Splify 3D, what suggestions do you have for tweaking support placement on STLs you don't have design files for? So the new version of Cura 3.3 beta, posted a link right there for the blog post on that. One of the cool new features is they added a support blocker, which doesn't let you actually place supports where you want, but you're actually able to block the support set that you don't want. So sort of the opposite way to do that, but it does allow you to sort of tell Cura where not to place supports. So if you don't want to actually you know, go dive in, buy Simplify 3D, you can just download the beta 3.3 of Cura and sort of interactively place your supports where you want them. So cool. You can try that. So definitely check that out. Having a lot of fun with checking out the new features inside that. Really good path tools that it's generating for us.
Okay.
Let's see.
There's some sneak peek stuff. Here's a a nice photo that was leaked in the Discord chat room. This is super cool. This is Blinka, the snake, Python snake. And we're ramping up CircuitPython 3.0.
I'll definitely check out the blog post on the recent updates to that.
Yeah, I just saw this and I was like, oh, I gotta share this. It's such a cool photo. Yeah. This is from a sketch that PT put together.
And if you guys have any more questions, definitely don't forget to post them up in Discord. You can at us or any other community member in there. We'll be happy to help.
Yep,
Project hanging out. Project Help.
That's a great place to put it.
As the 3D
General
printing
is
channel.
also okay. 3D printing channel for very specific stuff. We try to keep things on topic. If you want off topic, hey, we got a room for off topic. That's cool. Also want to shout out the CircuitPython meeting that we do every Monday. I'm in there all the time. Scott's in there. Kattni's in there. Dan, the whole gang. C. Grover, everybody's in there. Where is it? Why can't I find it?
Scroll all the way down. All the way down.
Oh, it's right here. Here's the CircuitPython. There. And then down here is where the audio voice channel is. So you just click on there. Check it out. So that's the voice. So we do that every Monday.
Already recorded, and I
2 p.m.
think we post a link to past shows on there as well. So definitely check that out.
Is it
for
listed
all
still?
of the.
Is it still unlisted?
I think he's posting it as unlisted,
Okay.
but I think there might be a link that's posted in there as well.
Wow, this is a bigger trampoline.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is MOSFET on the PCB design on there.
Holy jolies. It's a big one. It's a little bit more challenging. That one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, look, hey, the Pathfinder. Hey, this is my hat. Bioware. There it is. Very cool.
I like that helmet model that he posted as well.
Wow, that's cool. Pathfinder cap again. All right, cool. We got some
And
ideas
that's
here.
going to do it for this week's show. Thank you everybody for joining us every week. Don't forget, coupon code is BOUNCE. Save 10% off your order. Stay tuned later tonight, the afternoon. Going to be doing show and tell again. We won't be hosting. Thank you all for everybody who showed up last week.
Martin Phillip back. Oh,
yes.
I got to update this. Hold on. Jump Park is going to be on the regular Jump Park time.
Yes.
So I can just do this. Ready? And Ask an Engineer. Wednesday at 8 p.m. That's so cool. I'm glad that Wirecast is working out. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Again, if you want to join us on the show and tell... I feel like a vlogger. Thank you so much for joining us on today and hopefully tonight, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Be there. Get a sticker. All participants get a sticker. Can't wait to hear what Lamar and Phil have to say about their trip to DC. They keynoted.
Yes.
They had a bunch of fans who just giving out autographs to all these kids. It's so amazing.
Check out the blog post on that for all the behind the scenes on that. And of course, stay tuned, or check out tomorrow as well. We're going to have John Park's workshop, as always.
Yeah, sorry. I kind of went to the Adafruit team. Yeah, John Park's workshop tomorrow, of course, at 3 p.m., 4 p.m., one of those PMs. We have a blog post up. Check it out. And we'll be there monitoring. But don't forget, all of your dollars support the team at Adafruit, New York City, and remote. So don't forget, you can support the show by putting an order in. Yeah, buy a kit once in a while. We keep doing this. Phil is the best. I can't voice him. Thank you, John. Thank you, everybody in the chat room. Need a better way to end the show. Don't forget,
Make a great day.
make a great day. And now it's your time for the moment of fail.